So here's the actual do loop statement. Both the pre-test and post-test loops are shown here, and we have syntax of the structure, some examples. So basically uh, it can be either a do while condition with a loop at the end, like shown on in the left, or just a do condition with the loop while until condition at the very end. So the one on the right is the post-test loop, where the condition is evaluated at the end of the code. The one on the left is the pre-test loop, where we first evaluate the condition, and if it's true or if the condition is actually met, only then do we go on processing the information. So let's look at the pre-test loop first, where we evaluate the condition before processing any instructions. So we either check using a while, or we check using an until. So while some condition is true, the instructions are processed. So the instructions are processed until the condition is false. If you use an until, then generally what we do is the instructions are processed until the condition is true. So as long as the condition is false, the instructions are processed. Whenever the condition after until is true, then that's the end of the instruction processing. So let's look at the pretest loop example. Dim number as integer equals to 1. So we defined a number, an integer number which has an initial value of 1, and then we have the do while number less than equals to 3, message box dot show number equals to number plus 1, and then loop. So what it does is basically looks at the value of the number, and if it's less than equals to 3, then it shows the number in a message box and increments the number by 1. So initially number is defined as 1, and 1 is less than equals to 3, so the lines of codes run, message box is shown, and the number is incremented to 2. 1 plus 1 is 2, and then it loops. It goes to the loop, the last line of the code, and it goes back to the do statement. It again checks the number, it sees that number is 2 now, which is less than equals to 3. Message box runs, and the number is again incremented to 2 plus 1, which is equals to 3. Back to the loop, back to the top of the loop, then again number is checked, it's 3, and 3 is less than equals to 3. Again message box is shown, and number is incremented by 1 again to 4. Back to the loop, back to the top of the loop. Now number is equals to 4, is not less than equals to 3, so no more processing of the instructions. So basically that's how it goes. That's how the processing or information flow happens. So that's the pretest loop. I mean, if we started this loop with a number which is 4 or 5 or anything greater than 3, then the loop wouldn't even run once. Now in the post-test loop, you see that the condition is at the end of the loop. So it's after loop and then until the number greater than 3. So basically, even if the number does not meet the condition, the set of codes or the set of instructions like the message box and the number increment do happen at least once. And here, you know, it will keep on looping until number is greater than 3. So it's a different way of doing the same thing. Instead of a while, we're using until. So until number is greater than 3, the instructions will keep on happening. This slide shows the pseudocode and the flowchart for a pretest and a post-test loop. Here the decision part of the processing is represented by the diamond shape in both cases, and the looping is basically symbolized by that arrow from the bottom of the loop right up to somewhere near the top. So that is the looping part, and that's basically a feedback from the bottom to the top. Notice how in the pretest loop the decision is right near the top of the structure. So if the decision is false, then it automatically stops. In the post-test, if the decision is false, it does execute the code at least once and then stops. Again, that's the only difference between the pretest and the post-test loop.